Yeah, this bitch coughing Kabbalah, Kabbalah, and coffee. And I think something good happened. I mean, nothing major, but major in my life. Um, Basically, I had a phone call that went well, and then I celebrated. I sang "Cool in the Gang" uh, celebration, I should say, and then they called me back, but I had already celebrated. So it's like, dog, I don't want your fucking call. One thing I've learned from the rabbinate, though, never have anything counted, kids. Really? Yeah, don't ever have anything counted. But I had that bitch counted, and I was not picking up another phone call. I was like, dog, we talked. It's all good. It's all good. Really? Yeah, dog. Oh, so why'd they call back? I don't fucking know. They didn't leave a voicemail. I don't fucking know. I don't take calls. Really? Fuck no. Why? Dog, I got enough fucking thing. I got 99 Zeresium, but a bitch ain't one, baby. Are you happy? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. It's super happy? Yeah, but I wish they wouldn't have called me back. Who called? I don't know. Maybe the fucking maybe it was BB, and BB was like, "Hey, baby, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing, nothing. Just like in dick, like it's going out of style. How are things in your neck of the woods?" And he's like, "Yo, dog, we are taking heavy, heavy fire." I'd be like, "Oh, I have the Iron Dome, do it, or the fucking Laser Dome, or the fucking Sling of David." And he'd be like, "Dog, can you help us?" I'd be like, "Dog, listen, I got shit to do, people to see, places to be. I ain't got time for that." He's like, "Ain't nobody got time for that." Like, baby, baby, baby. How can I fucking help you? He'd be like, "Dog, we need reinforcements." I'd be like, "Calm the fuck down, dude." That's why I tell everybody to fuck so that everybody has a multitude and a population increase, and so that the fucking chart hockey sticks. What more you want me to do, baby? He'd be like, "Dog, we're under heavy fire." I'd be like, "Baby, baby, baby. That sounds like a you problem, okay? How am I supposed to help with that?" I'd be like, "Well, I just want you to know that I'm really excited to have somebody rebuild the beard and English." Be like, "Yes, yes, same here, baby. All right. Anything else?" And he'd be like, "Were you happy with this call?" I'd be like, "Baby, this was a wonderful call. Okay, I'm done. Peace." And then he calls me back and I'm like, "Psh, ain't nobody got time for that." All right, so you're gonna fucking do this shit? Yeah, dog. Calm down. Everybody, just cool your jets. Really? Oh yeah, baby. So one time I was in NYC. I was in Manhattan, and there were these things on the ground. I still have never found any evidence for this, but there were jets that were spray painted on the ground and sharks that were spray painted on the ground. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And my mom's like, "Oh, it's like West Side Story." And I'm like, "Okay, what's that?" And she's like, "It's a musical." And I'm like, "What's that?" And I'm like, she's like, "You know when they sing in like a play?" Be like, "What?" Anyway, I'm like, "Well, why is it spray painted on the ground?" She's like, "I don't know. It might have something to do with Saturday Night Live." Really? Yeah, motherfucker. Did it? Fuck no. Really? Yeah, but I remember the Jets were green and the Sharks were blue, I think. And they were like marking their territory. I don't know. It was like a thing to promote a musical on Broadway. Really? Yeah. What did you do when you were in New York last? Um, did you take the subway? We took a car in. Or we took a train in. We did both. Took a train in one day and a car the other day. And I all I wanted to do, we we saw the World Trade Center. I didn't go in, but like we saw the World Trade Center, saw the Statue of Liberty. We sat at this fucking pier and just stared out into the Atlantic. Really? Yeah. But all I wanted to do was see 21 Club. That's all I fucking wanted to do. And I saw the little jockeys outside. That's all I wanted to do. That was fucking see 21 Club. Really? Yeah. That's all you wanted to do? That is all I wanted to do. Really? We drove by it. Really? Yeah, it was tight. What else did you do? And I want to go to FAO Schwartz. Did you? Fuck yeah. What was the deal there? My parents said I could get one present or one toy. And was it the biggest toy store to which you'd ever been? Yeah, but it was like it was cool. It was cool. FAO Schwartz is my fucking jam. But it tells you how long ago this was when I was a kid. Did they have that piano? They had it. I just remember it was very tall. Like it wasn't that spread out. But I'd be like, I've been to Toys R Us, and that's fucking spread out. But this is very like different levels. There's levels of these things. Anyway, are you sad about that call? I was super happy. I'm still happy, but I don't know why they called back. But they didn't leave a message. And so it is what it is. Really? Yeah. Was it BB? Could have been baby. What was he saying? I don't know. Picking a new. He wanted my opinion on picking color swap color. What do you call those things? Color. You should fucking know the name of these things. Color swatches for the fucking inside of the bunker. Nobody fucking knows. But anyway, what'd you tell him? Ah, dog. Beige, I'm sure is fine. Really? Dog, who cares? Come on, man. Get your shit together. All right. Can you do the thing? No. Nobody knows. No one knows for sure. Eluve, Elu, Divre, Elohim, Chaim, but this is the Mazor we live by. Really? Yeah, this is day 70 of this bitch. It is 17th of Adar, 5786, Friday, March 6th. Are you happy? Yeah, I just wish I didn't call back. I mean, I already sang Cool in the Gang Celebration. It's like, no, you can't call me back after that, babies. Really? You just can't. I've already celebrated. But don't ever have it counted, kids. What does that mean? Like, if you're ever, I mean, I've watched it before. Like, you ever think you're going to win the race and you start celebrating and somebody just come and fucking Leon Let, baby. Don't pull Leon Let. What happened to him? That motherfucker was about to score in the Super Bowl and some Buffalo Dom Beebe fucking stole the ball from him. Anyway, is that who it was? Dog, we gotta look this shit up. I'm tired. Yeah. Super Bowl 27, baby. January 31st, 1993. All right, are you done? I don't know. Time heals all wounds, kids. Don't ever forget that. Does it? I think it should. All right, serious. I got 99 to reason, but a bitch ain't one. What is that? Problems, baby? Chill zone, Yerk's Trunkless. That's that fucking snail. Goalless, that's diaspora. I feel like I fucking just did this. Chachma, wisdom, bina, understanding, da'at, knowledge. Chalaf is a knife. Shechita is slaughter. Shochet is slaughter. Badika is examination or inspection. Chalaf is an instrument of surgical sharpness used to perform shechita. Halcha, the body of Jewish law, halachic in accordance with halacha, kosher, correct, fit, appropriate. Nevela, an animal that's not slaughtered by shechita. Shechita, the Jewish religious humane method of slaughtering animals and poultry for food. Isn't poultry animals? Yeah, but it's just a thing. That's a fucking Chabad thing. All right, Shochet, the person who performs shechita, qualified with a thorough knowledge of Jewish law, animal anatomy, and pathology, and licensed by both religious and civic authorities. Torah, the source of all Jewish teaching and law, also referred to as the law of Moses. Treifa, literally torn, generally used to denote non-kosher food. Za'ar Ba'al Lechayim, the Jewish teaching that cruelty to animals diminishes man's own ethical and moral standing, and that it's contrary to Jewish law to cause animals pain or distress. A shochet must be learned in the laws of kosher slaughter and adept at sharpening and polishing their knives, known as shtelen a-chalef in Yiddish. They also train under an experienced shochet to learn how to hold the animal firmly, to slaughter it quickly and smoothly. Often, but not always, the shochet is also trained as a bodek, a checker, who examines the inner organs of the animal to ensure that it was healthy at the time of death. In the modern factory setup, these tasks are often divided. Ge kaken, often yom, lek tizdayan. We gotta get this bullshit. May Hashem bless you and guard you. May Hashem shine his face upon you and be gracious to you. May Hashem lift his face to you and grant you peace. That's Birkat Kohanim. Akan ani medaber ivrit bekar ivrit mikrait of shehit boal. Anachnu amarim ledaber Yiddish o ulai aramid shegam otan ani yakol ledaber b'mina mesyamet aval ani ma'ala dif anglit lakin ba'u nedaber anglit zenishmatov lecha. Indeed, we were mainly biblically, although records are supposed to speak Yiddish or perhaps Aramaic, which I can also speak to some extent, but we're English. Therefore, let's speak English. Does that sound good to you? That was a cool story. Are you happy? Is you happy? Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein Yismecha. Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein Yismecha. Havana, Havanera, Havanera, Vein Yismecha. Havanera, 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 Vein Yismecha. Uru, Uru, Achim. Urachim Balav Sameach, Urachim Balav Sameach, Urachim Balav Sameach, Urachim Balav Sameach, Urachim Balav Sameach. Hey, Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein Yismecha. Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Vein Yismecha. Hava, Neranena, Hava, Neranena. Hava neranena be misacha. Hava neranena, Hava neranena, Hava neranena be misacha. Urachi, Urakim, Beletzameach, Urakim, Beletzameach, Urakim, Beletzameach, Urakim, Beletzameach, Urakim. Urachim Beletzameach. That was tight. Cool story, bro. Alright, do we have to read all this shit? Oh, it's 70. 70 days, so that means we gotta do the calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, I remember that. Alright, summary in one flow. Death, soul separates Gehinnom, purification, God Eden, initial spiritual reward, possible reincarnation, spiritual repair, resurrection, body plus soul reunited, Olam Haba, perfected embodied eternal world. 5 levels of the soul. Nefesh, action, vitality, ruach, emotion, neshama, intellect, chaya, transcendent life force, yechida, absolute unity with God. Before the Torah reading, Barak Lifnei HaKaraya. Reader calls Baruchu Ed Adonai Hamavarak. Congregation responds Baruch Adonai Hamavarak Le'olam Va'ed. Person called the Torah repeats Baruch Adonai Hamavarak Le'olam Va'ed. And then before the reading, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chad b'hanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Natan HaTorah. After the Torah reading, Baracha la'achor ha'karaya. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torat emet v'chayei olam nota bo v'etochinu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Yore, he may teach Yadin Yadin, he may judge Yatir Brachorot, he may permit firstborns. Torah is Bereshit, Shemot, Yikra, Bamidbar, Devarim, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Nevi'im, prophets, former prophets, Yehoshua, Joshua, Shoftim, Judges, Shmuel, Samuel, Melachim, Judges, or Melachim is kings. Shoftim is judges. Letter prophets. I'm very tired, by the way. Nevi'im, Achronim, Yeshayahu, Isaiah, Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, Yechezkel, Ezekiel, Trey, Asar, the 12, Hosea, Hosea, Yoel, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. Ketuvim writings, Tehillim, Psalms, Mishlei, Proverbs, Tehillim, Psalms, Mishlei, Proverbs, Eov, Job. The 5 Megillot, 5 scrolls, Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs, Ruth, Icah, Lamentations, Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, Esther, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, Divrei HaYamim. Chronicles. Hamlatza, that is the letters from local rabbis in exchange for a letter, that's a letter of recommendation. Hamlatza. Shadchan is a matchmaker. Shidduch is the match. In Yiddish, a shidduch is to, in Yiddish, to suggest a shidduch is to read a shidduch. Shadchanis refers to both the act of matchmaking, so that you can say that a shadchan is in the business of shadchanis, as well as the money traditionally given to the shadchan for his or her services, which would more accurately be referred to as shadchanis guilt, shadchanis money. A shadchan can be either male or female, although a female matchmaker is more properly called a shadchanta in Yiddish, and a shadchanet in Hebrew. The plural form is shadchanim. Rabbi's teacher, Musmak, is a sovereign judicial authority. Classical smicha gives the granted authority to judge capital cases, authority to impose kanasot, Authority to establish the calendar, membership in a Sanhedrin, jurisdiction rooted in Eretz Yisrael. Modern rabbis cannot execute, impose biblical fines, declare new months by testimony, recreate national sovereignty law. Musmach refers to that original smicha. Torah is multi-layered. Pashat, simple meaning. Remez, hint. Darash, homiletic, sod, secret. Mishaber is a public prayer blessing for an individual group, most often recited in shul when the Torah is being read. Yada yada yada. Mishaber, may he who blesses. Kvort refers to the basin or bowl used in Nedilat Yadayim ritual and Nedavasha. Kli Rishon, the original pot or container placed directly on a heat source, food or liquid in this vessel is considered hot enough to continue cooking. Added ingredients, for instance, spices or salt on Shabbat, which is prohibited. Kli Shani, a vessel in which the food or liquid has been poured from a Kli Rishon. It is significantly cooler and the risk of cooking is reduced. Kli Shlishi, a vessel into which the hot food or liquid has been transferred from a Kli Shani, is even cooler and cooking is generally not a concern. While not the cup itself, the kavort is part of a hand washing set, especially in Ashkenazi tradition. Alright, we're not going through all the head coverings today because we got other shit to do, babies. Alright. Got a lot to cover. Really? Yeah, and I want to sleep. I'm tired. Tired as fuck. But are you happy? Fuck yeah, I'm happy. Are you? Yeah, I don't know what BB wanted, but whatever. Alright, what's the next thing we're doing today? God, no one fucking knows. Book of the Read, like Lou Reed? No, dog, we did that. Zohar. We did Great Assembly yesterday. We're doing Small Assembly today. And I'm not reading that shit. We're not going to read it? No, we're going to listen to this shit. Got it? Why? Because my eyes are tired. Yeah, I'm fucking tired. We sang Celebration now. Really? Yeah. Once we sang Celebration, we don't pick up phone calls. Should you have picked that up? Absolutely.
Check mark. He is presenting the final teachings and death of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, while revealing the deepest Kabbalistic doctrines about the divine structure, especially the supreme configuration of Erech Anpin and the channels of divine mercy. If you'd like, I can also outline the structure of the Idra Zuda paragraph by paragraph, how it differs philosophically from the Idra Rabbah, its influence on later Kabbalah, especially in Isaac Luria and Hasidism.
Oh, fuck. Hey. Why doesn't it give... This shit is horse shit. Are you hungry? Yeah, are you gonna eat? No. Why? I'm tired, is what I am. Gotta get these fucking hours back to normal. How many days of the wars have been too many? Is it going to be a big war? I remember asking. I really didn't ask many questions in shul. It was very quiet, extremely, like shockingly quiet. I remember I asked one question over the course of years of Chumash class, and it was, "How do you know if someone has a righteous soul?" Something like that. And the I remember asking about my Rebbe about a few things. One thing was about whether Israel someday is going to be a monarchy, is going to be a theocracy, but perhaps there are going to be monarchical aspects of it. Okay, that a rabbinical colleague referenced. But I remember asking, like, when will Mashiach come? And I remember hearing the discussion. There's going to be a very big war, and I kind of tuned that out. But this is going to be a big fucking war. Do you think it's going to last years? It's going to be worse than Iraq. Uh-huh. Why? They're they've got more firepower and shit. This is going to be just is going to be. I think it'll be. Will it be like 20 years? I don't think it'll be that long, but will it be longer or shorter than Afghanistan? Afghanistan was long as fuck. So I don't know. I mean, those guys were fucking like shepherds, Mujahideen shit, Taliban, and I think the Taliban could potentially. I don't know, but I think we're banging on a fucking hornet's nest. But if that's what it takes to get Mashiach here, let's do it, baby. Really? No, I don't want war, and I don't think Mashiach will be there. That motherfucker's supposed to be all about peace. Really? Yeah. What would you say to Mashiach with all this? I'd be like, dog, why do all these people have to die? And you'd probably be like, I don't fucking know. Really? I'd be like, oh, you really are human. Really? I'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, cool, can we sleep after this? I'd be like, yeah, but I'm gonna nap too. I'd be like, tight, dog, that'd be sick.
20 Idra Zuta Adil Zuta, Idra Zuta, small assembly, part of the Sefer HaZohar corpus. Traditional setting, final teachings of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, historical composition, 13th century, Castilian Kabbalistic. 20 Idra Zuta Adara Zota, Idra Zuta Adara Zot, small assembly, part of the Sefer HaZohar. 20 Idra Zuta, Idra Zuta, 20 Idra Zuta Adara Zuta, Idra Zuta, small assembly, part of the Sefer HaZohar corpus. Traditional setting, final teachings of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Historical composition, 13th century Castilian Kabbalistic circle. Outline of Idra Zuta. Number 1, literary context serves as the final mystical discourse in the Zoharic narrative cycle. Acts as a continuation and conclusion to Idra Rabba Adel Rabba Great Assembly. Describes the last moments before Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's death. His disciples gather to receive his final esoteric revelations. Themes: transmission of ultimate secrets, mystical death of the righteous, completion of divine revelation. And number 2, narrative setting, gathering of the disciples. Rabbi Shimon summons a small circle of disciples, including Rabbi Abba, Rabbi Elazar, his son, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Kia. Atmosphere, awe and trembling, awareness that Rabbi Shimon is about to depart the world. This is portrayed as a sacred moment of cosmic significance. Final revelation of begins. Subjects include A. The structure of the Sephirot Sphirot. Sephirot divine emanations. Focus especially on Kita, Kale, crown, Shokma, Chachama, wisdom, Bina, Bena, understanding. These are described as the highest levels of divine consciousness. B. The divine Partsufim, divine configurations or personas. Discussion of Arik Anpin, long face, divine patience. Zeir Anpin, short face, emotional attributes. Nukva Shekina, feminine divine presence. Rabbi Shimon explains how these structures govern creation. They interact to maintain mysteries of the divine. One of the sections, the beard of Arik Ampin, symbolizes channels of does tikkune dikna arrangements of the beard, meaning each strand represents a pathway for divine compassion to enter the world. Concepts: mercy flowing downward, spiritual repair through divine attributes. Number 5, mystical light filling house. As Rabbi Shimon teaches, the disciples cannot look directly at him, meaning in Kabbalah, revelation of Or Ein Sof, infinite light, a sign of the soul's imminent ascent. Number 6, the passing of Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon continues teaching until the moment of death. Descriptions include fire surrounding the house, light too intense for outsiders to approach, only that the disciples remain near him. At the moment of death, his words cease, his soul ascends in holiness. Number 7, aftermath. The disciples respond with weeping, recognition that the generation has lost its great light. Rabbi Abba records the teachings so they will not be forgotten. This becomes part of the Zoharic tradition. Number 8, theological themes. A. Death of the Tzaddik Kabbalah. The death of a Tzaddik is not a loss but a ascent. B. Transmission of secret Torah. The deepest mystical knowledge must be transmitted only to worthy disciples in sacred gatherings. C. Ein Sof, the infinite divine. Rabbi Shimon's death represents complete mystical union. Number 9, liturgical and mystical importance. In many Kabbalistic traditions, Idra Zuta is studied on Lag BaOmer, the day traditionally associated with Rabbi Shimon's passing. Mystics read it as a map of the highest divine realities, the final testament of the Zoharic teachings. In short, Idra Zuta is the climactic mystical scene of the Zohar, describing the final revelations and death of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, revealing profound teachings about the highest levels of the Sephirot, divine mercy, and the ascent of the righteous soul. If you want, I can also show you the differences between Idra Rabbah and Idra Zuta. They are often confused, but very different. In Idra Zuta, which
no, you have to do that, baby. What would you call this bitch? The hoe? Really? Oh yeah, this bitch is the hoe. What? Why not? I'm tired as fuck. Alright, now what? Timeline of Jewish history. Yeah, just do it. Really? Yeah, what else?
Timeline of Jewish history. Jewish history spans nearly 6,000 years, beginning with the creation, approximately 4,000 years before the Common Era. It continues through the years of the patriarchs, the Egyptian bondage, the judges, the First Temple era, when the kings of Judah and Israel ruled, the Babylonian exile, and the Second Temple era, which concluded with our being taken into exile yet again by the Romans. Throughout, Torah study and our faith in GT and his promise of redemption were our constant companions, providing the Jewish people with a divine compass through every challenge and change. Print this timeline. Creation of heaven and earth, and Adam and Eve. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 3,761 creation of the world, birth of Adam and Eve, Java. Negative 3,631 130 Seth, son of Adam, was born. Negative 3,526 235 Enosh, son of Seth, was born. Negative 3,436 325 Kenan, son of Enosh, was born. Negative 3,366 395 Mahalalel, son of Kenan, was born. Negative 3,301 460 Yared, son of Mahalalel, was born. Negative 3,139 622 Chanach, son of Yared, was born. Negative 3,074 687 Metashalach, son of Chanach, was born. Negative 87 874 Lemech, son of Metashalach, was born. Negative 2,831 930 Adam died. Negative 2,705 1,056 Noah, son of Lemech, was born. Negative 2,225 1,536 Noah began the construction of the ark. Negative 2,205 minus 1,556 Yafet, son of Noah, was born. Negative 2,204 minus 1,557 Shem, son of Noah, was born. Negative 2,203 minus 1,558 Shem, son of Noah, was born. Negative 2,105-1,656 Metashalach died. Negative 2,105-1,656 The Great Flood covered the earth. Negative 2,103 1,658 Arpachshad, son of Shem, was born. Negative 2,068 is less than 1,693 Shelach, son of Arpachshad, born. Negative 2,038 E 1,723 Eber, son of Shelach, was born. Negative 2004, 1757. Peleg, son of Eber was born. Negative 1974, 1787. Reu, son of Peleg was born. Negative 1942, 1819. Sarah, 12, 1849. Nacharai, son of Sarah, was born. Negative 1883, 1800. Sarah, son of Nacharai, was born. The forefathers. Negative 1813, 1948. Abraham, son of Terah, was born. Negative 1803, 1958. Sarah, daughter of Haran, was born. Negative 1788, 1973. Abraham married Sarah. Negative 1765, 1996. Dispersion from Babel after building the tower. Negative 1761, 2000. Terah left her Kasdan with his family. Negative 1755, 2006. Noah died. Negative 1743, 2018. The covenant. Brit Bain Haverim, with Abraham. Negative 1738, 2023. Abraham settled in Canaan. Negative 1727, 2034. Ishmael, son of Abraham, was born. Negative 1713, less 2048. Circumcised himself, and Ishmael and Gomorrah were destroyed. Negative 1713 is less than 2048. Isaac, son of Abraham, was born. Negative 1677, 2084. The Akedah, where Isaac was brought on the altar by Abraham. Negative 1677, 2084. Sarah died. Negative 1653, 2108. Jacob and Esau were born. Negative 38, 2123. Abraham died. Negative 1603 minus 2158. Shem, son of Noah, died. Negative 1590 minus 2171. Isaac blessed Jacob instead of Esau. Negative 1576, 2185. Jacob went to Haran. Negative 1574, 2187. Eber, great grandson of Shem, died. Negative 1569, 2192. Jacob married and Rachel. Negative 95. Levi, son of Jacob, and Leah, 199. Joseph, son of Jacob, and Rachel, was born. Negative 1556, 2205. Jacob left Haran. Negative 1553, 2208. Benjamin was born. 1040, 2016. Joseph was sold. Negative 5. Joseph sold. Negative 1000. Became viceroy of Egypt. 35. Ped, son of Levi, was born. Negative 1523, 2238, 238. Jacob and his family went to Egypt. Living in Egypt. Secular year Jewish year events in history. Negative 1506, 2255. Jacob died. Negative 1429 is less than 2332. After Levi died, the enslavement in Egypt began. Negative 1393, 2368. Moses was born. Negative 1355, 2406. Joshua was born. Negative 1314, 2447. Moses encountered the burning bush. Negative 1313, 2448. Jewish nation. Desert. Negative 348. The Jewish nation crossed the Red Sea, Mount Sinai, and the giving of the Torah. Negative 1313, 2448. Moses broke the tablets. Negative 1312 is less than 2449. Moshe came down Mount Sinai with the second tablets. Negative 1312, 2449. The tabernacle was erected. Negative 1312, 2449. The spies returned from Canaan with bad news. Negative 1274, 2487. Aharon and Miriam died. Negative 1273, 2488. Moses died. Judges and early prophets. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 1273, 2488. The Jews crossed the Jordan into Canaan. Negative 1258 is less than 2503. The appointment of the land of Israel was completed. Negative 1245, 2516. Joshua died. Negative 1228 is less than 2533. The rule of judges began with Othniel ben Kenaz. Negative 1188 is less than 2573. Ehud ben Gera became leader. Negative 1107, 2654. Shamgar ben Anath died. Negative 1107 2654. Deborah became leader. Negative 1067, 2694. Gideon became leader. Negative 1027, 2734. Abimelech, son of Gideon, became leader. Negative 1024, 2737. Tola, son of Buray, became leader. Negative 1003, 2758. of Jer, the Gileadite, became leader. Negative 982 S. ER 982, 2779. Jephthah, agility, became leader. Negative 969, became leader. Negative 900,800, 2 Abdon ben Hillel, leader. Negative 951, 2810. Samson became leader. Negative 931, 2830. Eli the Cohen became leader. Negative 907, 2854. David was born. Negative 892,871. Samuel became leader. Kings and the first Holy Temple. Secular Jewish year event history. Negative was 84. David became king of Judah in Hebron. Israel in Jerusalem. Negative 837, 2924. Solomon became king. Negative 833, 2928. The building of the first Beit Hamikdash commenced. Negative 827, 2935. The first Beit Hamikdash was completed. Negative 797 is less than 2964. Solomon died, and his kingdom was divided. Negative 797 e 2964. Rehoboam, son of Solomon, became king of Judah. Negative 797 is less than 2964. Jeroboam ben Nebat became king over Israel. Negative 718, 3043. Elijah went up in a chariot of fire. Negative 677, 3084. Yoash renovated the Beit Hamikdash. Negative 619, 3140. Prophecies. Negative 574, 3187. The first 2 of the 10 tribes were exiled. Negative 566, 3195. Another 2 of the 10 tribes were exiled. Negative 562, 3199. Hezekiah became king of Judah. Negative 556. Negative 548 is less than 3,213. Sennacherib invaded the land of Judah and retreated. Negative 533 3,228 Manasseh, son of Hezekiah, became king of Judah. Negative 463 3,298 of Jeremiah began his prophecies. Negative 458 is less than 3,303. Josiah renovated the Beit Hamikdash. Negative 442 3,319 Jerusalem was conquered and Jehoiakim was exiled. Negative 443,321 Joachim burned the Book of Lamentations composed by Jeremiah. Negative 434 3,327 Jerusalem was conquered again and Jehoiachin was exiled. Negative 433,331 Jeremiah persisted in prophesying calamity. Negative 429 is less than 3,332 Ezekiel prophesied in exile. Negative 425 3,336 the final Babylonian siege of Jerusalem. Negative 423 is less than 3,338 the walls of Jerusalem were penetrated. Negative 423 3,338 the sacrifices ceased in the Beit Hamikdash. Negative 423 3,338 the first Beit Hamikdash was destroyed. Exile in Babylon. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 423 3,339 Jediah ben Achikam was killed. Negative 421 3,340 Daniel interpreted Nebuchadnezzar dream. Negative 410 3,352 Ezekiel prophesied about the future Beit Hamikdash. Negative 372 3,389 Daniel read the writing on the wall. Negative 372 3,389 Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. Negative 371 is less than 3,390 Zerubbabel led the return to the land of Israel. Negative 373,391 building of second Beit Hamikdash commenced, then halted. Negative 366 3,395 Achashverosh, to made his great banquet. Negative 362 3,399 Esther was taken to the palace. Negative 357 3,404 Esther took action against Haman's decree. Negative 3,406 Mordecai proclaimed the celebration of Purim. Negative 303 is less than 3,408 building a second Beit Hamikdash resumed. Negative 349 is less than 3,412 the second Beit Hamikdash was completed. Building of the second Holy Temple. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 348 3,413 Ezra led the second return to the land of Israel. Negative 335,326 Nehemiah returned to rebuild walls of Jerusalem. Negative 313 3,448 Ezra died. Negative 313 is less than 3,448 Simon the Sadak met Alexander the Great. Negative 313 3,449 the Minion Sheret began. Greek cultural domination. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 273 3,488 Simon and Sadak died. Negative 246 is less than 355,1572 elders translated the Torah into Greek, Septuagint. Negative 140 minus 3,621 the revolt of Mattai the Chashmoni. Kingdom of Judea, dynasty of the Chashmonim. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 139 3,622 Judah the Maccabee ruled. Negative 139 is less than 3,622 the second Beit Hamikdash was rededicated. Negative 138 is less than 3,623 Hanukkah was declared a festival. Negative 133 3,628 Judah the Maccabee was killed in battle. Negative 133 is less than 3,628 Yonadab, son of Mattathiah, ruled. Negative 127 3,634 Shimon, son of Mattathiah, ruled. Negative 119 3,642 Yohanan Hyrcanus, son of Shimon, ruled. Negative 93 at 3,668 Judah Aristoteles, son of Es, ruled. Negative 91 3,670 Alexander Yannick, son of Yochanan Hyrcanus, ruled. Negative 70 3,688 Queen Shalom and Salome, Alexandra, wife of Alexander Yannick, ruled. Negative 65 minus 3,696 SHE Aristoteles, 2 son of Alexander Yannick, ruled TD. Negative 61 3,700 the Romans gained control of Judea. Negative 61 3,700 Hyrcanus, 2 son of Alexander Yannick, ruled. Negative 40 minus 3,721 Antigonus, son of Aristoteles, 2 ruled. Roman client kings and rulers, the Herodian dynasty. Secular year Jewish year event in history. Negative 36 minus 3,725 Herod ruled, killing all the Chashmonon. Negative 33 3,728 Hillel became the leader of the Torah scholars. Negative 19 minus 3,742 Herod began rebuilding the second Beit Hamikdash. Negative 11 is less than 3,750 renovation of the second Beit Hamikdash was completed. 1,761 Archelaus, son of Herod, ruled. 8 3,768 is Hillel died. 10 3,770 Archelaus was deposed by the Roman Emperor. 21 3,781 Agrippa I, grandson of Sanhedrin moved from the second Beit Hamikdash. 42 son of Agrippa I, ruled. 53,810 Rabban Gamliel I, son of Shimon, grandson of Hillel, died. 66 3,826 Vespasian arrived in Judea to reassert Roman authority. 69 is less than 3,829 the second Beit Hamikdash was destroyed. The Talmudic era, the Mishnah. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 74 3,834 Ar Yohanan ben Zakkai died. 86 3,846 the Sanhedrin moved from place to place under Ar Gamliel II. 133 3,893 Better fell, and the Bar Kochba revolt ended in tragedy. 134 3,894 Judaism was banned, and Ar Akiva was imprisoned. 189 3,949 Bar Judah Hanasi completed the Mishnah around this time. The Talmudic era, the Gemara. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 219 3,979 Rav left the land of Israel and settled in Babylonia. 247 4,007 Shmuel was the Talmudic authority in Babylonia. 254 4,014 Ar Yohanan was the leading Talmudic authority. 290 or 4,050 Ar Huna was the leading Talmudic authority. 298 is less than 4,058 Ar Yehuda was the leading Talmudic authority. 300 or 4,060 Ar Chista was the leading Talmudic authority. 309 4,069 Rabbah was the leading Talmudic authority. 321 4,081 Ar Yosef was the leading Talmudic authority. 325 4,085 Abay was the leading Talmudic authority. 338 is less than 4,098 is Rabbah was the leading Talmudic authority. 359 4,119 Hillel II who established the calendar became Nasi. 392 4,150 Ar Ashi was the leading Talmudic authority. 427 after the compilation of the Gemara. 475 4,235 the Talmud was complete when Ravina II died. The Rabbinate. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 551 Ar 4,311 Mar Zutra proclaimed Jewish self-rule in Babylonia. The Geonim. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 589, 4,349. The Talmudic Academy of Pumpedita was reconstituted. 609, 4,369. The Talmudic Academy of Sura was reconstituted. 614, 4,374. The Persians conquered the land of Israel. 618,370. Roman to Jerusalem. 609, 4,389. Byzantine Empire shattered. 637, 4,397. The Arabs conquered the land of Israel. 645, 4,405. One of the Tachnid Hijianim was enacted at this time. 755, 4,515. Ar Ache God left Iraq for the land of Israel. 759, Ar 4,519. Ar Yehuda became God of Sura. 759, E 4,519. The Halachid Jedalid Bag was written at this time. 788, 4,548. Another of the Tachnid Hijianim was enacted at this time. 858 is less than 4,618. Ar Amram, who wrote the Siddur, became God of Sura. 928, 4,688. Rabbi Rothschild was appointed at 55, 4,715. 4 captives were ransomed at around this time. 1,728. Ar Shera became God of Pumpedita. 997. Ar 4,757. Ar Hai became the last God of Pumpedita. 1,038, 4,798. Ar Hai died, and the academies of Babylon declined. The early Rishnim, the Crusade massacres. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1,040, 4,800. Rabbi Gersa near Hagla died. 1,088 is less than 4,848. The Rif arrived in Spain from Morocco. 1,096, 4,856. The Crusaders destroyed Jewish communities. 1,099, 4,859. Jerusalem was captured by the Crusaders. 1,103-4,863. The Rif died. 1,105 is less than 48,865. Rashi died, and the era of the Tosafot began. 1,135 is less than 485. The Ram of Maimonides was born. 1,144, 4,900. For the first recorded blood libel took place. 1,147 is less than 4,900. 7. The Crusaders attacked Jewish communities. 1,147 is less than 4,900. 7. Rabbeinu Tam was captured by the Crusaders. 11,148, 4,908. The Rambos and the Radix families left Cordova. 11,165 minus 4,925. The Rambam Tam died. 11,175 minus 4,935. The Rashbam died. 1,184, 4,944. The young son of the Reed was killed. 1,187, 4,948 Jews were allowed to return to Jerusalem. 1,189 or 4,949. Ar Yaakov d'Orléans was killed in London. 1,190 is less than 4,950 Jews were massacred in England in the Third Crusade. 1,191 E 491. Rabbi David Kimchi, known as the Radic, wrote his commentary. 1,194, 954. The Ramban, Nachmanides. 1,198, 4,959. The Rabbah died. 1,204, 4,965. The Rambam died. 1,236, 4,996. Rampaging mobs massacred Jews in France. 1,242, 5,002. A massive burning of the Talmud took place in Paris. 1,244, 5,004. Jerusalem was sacked by Egyptians and Turks. 1,252, 5,012. Inquisition began to use torture. 1,267, 5,027. The Ramban left Spain and settled in the land of Israel. 1,275,030. The Ramban died. 1,286, 504. 6. The Rabbi Rothschild was imprisoned. 1,295, 050. New works advanced the study of Kabbalah. 1,295, 0500 SE. The era of the Tosafot concluded at a later Rishnim, persecutions and expulsions. Secular year Jewish event in history. 1,295, 05050. All Jews were expelled from England. 193, 5053. The Maharam Rotenberg died in prison. 1,298 is less than 50,058. The Rindfleisch massacres began. 1,298 is less than 50,058. The author of the Mordecai and Haggadah Mimoniah were killed. 1,305, 5,065. The Rashba placed a limited ban on philosophy. 1,305, 5,065. The Rosh and his son, the Tur, arrived in Spain. 1,306, 5,056. Jews were expelled from France. 1,300, 1,070. The Rashba died. 1,320, 137, 5,088. The Rosh died. 1,336, 5,096. Jews of Germany were massacred by the Armlater bands. 1,338, 5,098 is of the Rambam wrote his commentary on the Bible. 1,349, 5,109, 209. The Black Death massacres swept across Europe. 1,367, 5,127. The Railers in Spain were imprisoned. 1,391, 51 Jews of Spain were massacred. Many were forced to convert. 1,391, 51 to the Ribash and Rashbats left Spain. 1,394, 5,155. The final expulsion of Jews from France. 1,413, 5,173. Ar Yosef Albo was in a forced debate with Christians. 1,421, 5,181. Jews in Austria were massacred in the Wiener Gezerah. 1,475 is less than 5,235. The invention of printing was used for Jewish books. 1,481, 5,241. The Inquisition was established in Spain. 1,488, 5,248. Art of Adiac to Bernaro settled in Jerusalem. 1,491, 5251. E251. Columbus consulted our Abraham Secuto for his travels. 1,492, 525, 252. E 2 Jews were expelled from Spain and Sicily. The great scholars of the Shulchan Aruch and Torah consolidation. Year Jewish year event in history. 1,493, 525. Yitzchak Barbanel arrived in Naples from 1,496, 5257. EWE Jews were expelled from Portugal. 1,516, 527. ES. Evian Yaakov was printed. 1,516, 5,276. The Turks, Ottoman Empire, conquered Eretz Yisrael. 1,525, 5,285. R. Yosef Yoselman saved many Jews during the Peasants' War. 1,553, 5,314. A mass burning of Jewish books took place in Rome. 1,563, 5,323. The Shulchan Aruch was completed by R. Yosef Karo. 175,330. The Shulchan Aruch was 1,572 5. The Aerosol sat. 133 the mackerel came to Prague. 1,535 5334 2000. The Maharshal died 5,335 R. Joseph Caro died in 7. 1,599 5,359. The mackerel returned to Prague again. 1,614 5,374 the Maharsha became rabbi in Lublin. 1,616 5,377 the Tazavit Yolteri was concluded. 1,621 5,382 the Shalah arrived in the land of Israel. 1,629 5,389 R. Yom Tov Lippin Heller was imprisoned in Prague. 1,645,400 R. Yoel Serps, the Bab, died. 1,646 5,406 the Shach and Taz on Shulchan were printed. 1,648 5,408 Jews were massacred by Chmielnicki forces. Early Acharanim and East European massacres. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1,654 5,414 is less than the first Jews settled in New Amsterdam, New York. 1,655 5,415 many Jews. 56 5,416 Jews were permitted to live in England. 1,656 5416 Baruch Spinoza was excommunicated. 1,673 E 543 the Magen Avraham on Shulchan was completed. 1,676 5,437 Shabtai Savi died as a Muslim. 9 E 549 the Beit Shmuel on the Shulchan was printed. 1,698 is less than 5,458. The Baal Shem Tov was born. 1,725 5,463 the Ney Yahushua's family was killed in an explosion. 1,712 5472 ER 72 the Sifting Chachman was arrested. 1,724 5,484 R. Yaakov Kuli, Meme Lows, arrived in Constantinople. 1,727 5,487 the Misnah Lemelech died. 1,734 5,494 Jews were massacred by the Hademak bands. Acharanim and early Chassidim. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1,741 5,501 R. Hatchaim arrived in the land of Israel. 1,747 5,507 R. Moshe Chaim Lazado, Ramshal, died in Akko, Acre. 1,755 510 R. Jonathan Ibashutz became rabbi in Hamburg. 1,754 5,515 R. Yucheska Landau, known as the Noda Yehuda, became rabbi in Prague. 1,757 5518 the Frankists instigated mass burnings of the Talmud. 17059 5,519 is Frankists supported blood libel charges in public debate. 1,765 520 the Baal Shem Tov died. 1,764 E 524 the Council of Four Lands, known as the Vad Arba Ratzit, was discontinued. 1,768 is less than 55,528 despite resistance. The Haidamaks massacred thousands. 1,772 5,532 the Maggid of Mezrich died. 1,782 5542 RN Adler and Chatham Sofer visited the Noda Yehuda. 1,786 5,546 R. Limelech of Lizensk died. 1,791 5,551 the Pale settlement was established in Russia. 1,793 5,553 Jews suffered in reign of terror of French Revolution. 1,797 5,558 the Vilna Gaon died. 1,798 is less than 5,559 the Baal Hataniah was released from first imprisonment. 1,799 5,559 Napoleon led an army expedition through the land of Israel. 1,806 5,566 the Chitta R. Hayam Yosef David Azalai died. 1,806 5,566 the Chatham Sofer became rabbi in Pressburg. 1,809 5,570 R. Levi Yitzchak Berdichev died. 1,810 5571 R. Nachman of Breslov died. 1,814 5,574 R. Kiva 8. 1,814 5,575 is less than Koznitzer Maggid and Yehudia Peshisha, both died. 1,815 5,575 is Urchaza of Lublin and Armendel of Rimanov, both died. 1,819 5,579 anti-Jewish riots spread throughout Germany. 1,827 5,587 Russia began conscripting Jewish children to the army. 1,845 R. Israel of Ruzin was released from imprisonment. Later Acharanim and the Changing Society. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1,843 5,603 that Semach Sedek of Lubavitch was repeatedly arrested in Russia. 1,846 5,606 Sir Moshe Montefiore visited Russia to help local Jews. 1,848 5,609 R. Yisrael Salinger left Vilna. 1,851 5611 R. Shimshon Raphael Hirsch became rabbi in Frankfurt am Main. 1,859 5,619 R. Menachem Mendel of Kots died. 1,864 5,624 the Malbim was imprisoned and then expelled from Romania. 1,866 5,626 Chidashi Haram, Tiferet Shlomo, and Semach Sedek died. 1,873 5,633 the Chafetz Hayam was published. 1,874 5,634 the Minchet Chinuch died. 1,878 of 5,638 Petah Tikva agricultural settlement was established. 1,881 5,641 many Jews began leaving Russia after a wave of pogroms. 1,886 5,646 R. Shlomo Gansfried, author of Kitzur Shulchan died. 1,892 5,652 R. Hayam Brisker became rabbi in Brisk. 1905 5,665 the Sfat Emet died. 1905 5,665 many Jews were killed in official Russian pogroms. 1911 5,671 Chazin Ish was published. 1914 5,674 over 500,000 Jewish soldiers fought in World War I. 1918 5,678 over 60,000 Jews were killed during the Russian Revolution. 1923 5,684 the Daf Yomi study cycle commenced. 1927 5,686 Lubavitcher Rebbe was released from Soviet prison. 1938 5,699 Jews were tipped in the Kristallnacht pogroms in Germany. The Holocaust. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1939 5,699 Germany started World War II and mass killing of Jews. 1941 5,701 Nazi Germany unexpectedly invaded Russia. 1941 5,701 200,000 Jews were killed at Babi Yar and Ponary. 1942 5,702 400,000 Jews of Warsaw were sent to death camps. 1943, 5,703 Nazi Germany experienced massive losses in the Battle of Stalingrad. 1943, 5,703 the remaining Jews in Warsaw staged a massive uprising. 1943, 5,703 Jewish uprising. And Bialystok. 1943, 5,703 the Danish people quietly rescued 93,704 300,000 Hungarian Jews were killed in 3 months. 1944, 5,705 uprising in Auschwitz death camp just before freedom. 1945, 5,705 Nazi Germany was conquered, and World War II ended. 1945, 5,705 6 million Jews were killed by the Nazis during the war. The modern state of Israel. Secular year Jewish year event in history. 1947, 5,707 publication of the Talmud Encyclopedia was commenced. 1947, 5,708 the United Nations divided Israel. 1947, 5,708 Arabs attacked Israel to gain territory. 1948 is less than 5,708 the state of Israel was established. 1948 is less than 5,708 Israel was invaded by many Arab countries. 1949, 5,709 the War of Independence in Israel ended. 1955, 710 is less than 510 all Jews left the ancient Jewish community of Iraq. 1955, 710 is less than almost all Jews of Yemen emigrated to Israel. 1951, 5711 the Lubavitcher Rebbe accepts the mantle of leadership. 1956, 571,717 Jewish forces invaded Egypt and conquered the Sinai Desert. 1967, 5,727 the Lubavitcher Rebbe established the Tefillin campaign. 1967, 5,727 Jerusalem reunited under Jewish rule in the Six-Day War. 1973, 5,734 2,500 Jewish soldiers were killed in the Yom Kippur War. 1974, 5,734 the Lubavitcher Rebbe established the Shabbat Candle campaign. 1982, 5,742 massive enemy arsenals were discovered in Lebanon. 1987, 5,746 the first international conference of Chabad Lubavitch emissaries. 1994, 5,754 the Lubavitcher Rebbe passed away. 2008 is 5,767 deadly terrorist attack at the Chabad house in Mumbai, India, kill 6. 2020 is less 578,700 Israel signed Abraham Accords, normalizing relations with UAE and Bahrain, soon followed by Sudan and Morocco.
Cool story, bro. Chai, something so pleasurable it could raise the dead. So Robinson says after we ship Alibi, if only I wish that Jesus were Polish, double British account. Jewish head began to become a fetish of mine. And at the talkative bitch talkless brass tacks. Nosh means to snacking on pussy. Noshing, Bashert, that means soulmate. Bashert, that means female soulmate. Bashert, that means male soulmate. Mishmash, that was taking a bath. Mixture. Bupkis means beans or nothing. Good Yantic means good day. L'chaim means to life. Parv means neutral. Glad. Kosher means smooth. Fit. Mensch, that means good dude. Mensch should be a thing for women. Yiddish, Sidakas Froy, and Aisha Khayl for women generally. But Gittel could be a thing. Skoyak means short for Yashar Koach, which is short for Yashar Kokaka, which means your strength be directed forward. Oive means oh fuck. Stettel, that's a town. Streimel, that's a hat. Shadel, that's a wig. Milchig is dairy. Fleischig is meat. Part is neutral. Hamish or Heimish means homie. Bigger. Chazir means pig. Chazer to repeat. Well, that crazy guys kind of means thief. Yarmulka, maybe Aramaic, it's Yiddish, but maybe Aramaic for Yare Malka in all the king. Treif means torn, Yortzeit, death anniversary. Klutz means wooden block, can mean clumsy. Nidalok means matzo ball. Spritz means sweat. Schnorrer means beggar. Schmutz means grime. Schmooze means to speak with or gab. Moms can be in a positive way as well. Moms means bastard. Benching means blessing. Shadchan means uh, matchmaker, and shidduch means match. Kvetch means bitch and moan. Shiva means seven. Mabel means expert. Shanda means shame. Chachki means trinkets and shit. Plots means a burst. Macher means an important person. Kvel. I like this word. My rabbi would sometimes talk about this. Really, or my rabbinical colleague of mine used to say that his mother used to say she would have such an nachas ready to make him kvel. So kvel is experience pride and satisfaction from seeing others, particularly one's children and grandchildren, excel. Kvel is a verb, so it would be accurate to say that you're a friend. I am sure that you are kveling when you watch your son graduate yeshiva. Kvel versus sheb nachas. Although kvel is extremely popular among English-speaking Yiddish dabblers, the Yiddish speakers would probably describe the same sensation as sheb nachas, pronounced sheb nokis. Sheb means draw, like drawing water from a well. Nakis is Hebrew for calm and serenity, but its Yiddish iteration implies the glow that comes from the success of people you care about. Thus, when your friend updates you on how prodigious on her prodigious son's success, he is now married and has a house full of sweet children, you can tell her to shep nakas, to lap up bucket loads of satisfaction from those super cute grandkids. Joy versus suffering. If you are of Lithuanian extraction, Jewish Lita is of course not limited to the borders of modern day Lithuania. You might point out that kvel is a homonym that means to torment, huh? How can the same word have such different meanings? According to a respected authority on Yiddish, a former editor at the Yiddish Language Jewish Daily Forward, the two words are unrelated. In fact, among Polish Jews, the two words are pronounced differently. To swell with pride is chvel, and to torture is kveil. Now that's a factoid to make your bubby kvel, but not kveil, we hope. A final note, nachas, joy from our children and grandchildren, is among the sweetest pleasures a Jew can hope for. It is common to bless people with true Yiddish nachas. Jewish nachas is not generated by material wealth, academic accomplishments, or social climbing. Rather, it is the joy that comes from seeing another generation of Jews living lives inspired by Torah, shaped by mitzvah observance, and focused on helping others. This is something worth investing in. Make sure your home is founded on Torah. Give your kids education. Teach to love Judaism, and with the help of really, yeah. And then what? Then we're gonna watch this fucking movie, and then we're gonna go to bed. God willing. Really? Are you happy? Is you happy? Yeah. Baby can wait. Is tzedakah important? Absolutely. Really? Yeah. What do you call a thing? A pushka? Giving the money? Giving money to shit?
Hi, welcome.
Really? Yeah.
Today we'll be talking about the mitzvah of tzedakah.
Tzedakah.
That's what
Pushka.
people call charity. To be sure, is not charity at all. You see, charity means to give something that's just somebody who's less fortunate and doesn't really deserve it, and you behave charitably. But tzedakah, contrastingly, comes from the Hebrew word of tzedek, which means righteousness. Righteousness means to do what's right. And the idea of caring and sharing socially to ensure that everybody around you has what to eat, has what to wear, and is well adjusted is simply the right thing to do. It wouldn't be right for you to have all of your needs fulfilled and beyond when somebody else is lacking the very basic essentials. And so the Torah tells us that tzedakah is about the right thing. In a certain sense, our sages tell us the money is not really ours. God gave us a gift. There are people that work very hard and never succeed. There are people that don't put that much effort in, and yet, for some strange reason, find themselves to be very successful. To us as believing Jews, or from a Torah perspective, wealth and affluence is a gift from God. And so since God has given us a gift, He expects us to do the right thing with it, namely to care and to share. The mitzvah of tzedakah actually is quite technical. We are commanded to give 10% of our earnings, that's a minimum, to charity, to causes or purposes of righteousness and of aiding and assisting others. Tzedakah also includes, with a broader sense, taking social responsibility for programs of welfare, spirituality, education, the betterment of humankind and our society. Tzedakah is not money, necessarily. Tzedakah can be giving of time, giving of one's talents, giving of one's ability, giving of your friendship. All of that means to care. We technically also try to give charity or tzedakah on a regular basis, even if it doesn't reach the intended cause, which is the reason that so many of us have a tzedakah box on our desk, in our kitchens, in our homes, in our bedrooms, so that we are constantly reminded that we have a responsibility to share with others, a responsibility to care about others. In the broader sense, charity means not to live in a vacuum. With tzedakah, the right thing means to live with a cognizance and awareness of your environment, of your surroundings, and of being involved in other people's lives. Tzedakah means something like attending a funeral, trying to console somebody during their moment of sorrow, rejoicing at a wedding, fully providing comfort for somebody who is lonely or sad. All of these things are part of Gemilat Chasadim, or the dispensation of kindness, which is the essential motif, the theme, and idea of tzedakah. You know, people work very hard for the money. And to give money, sometimes people work so hard at making a living that you could say they put their entire self into it. Now just imagine, if you will, how in heaven that seems when somebody works so hard for something and then is ready to recognize that it's a gift from God. And because it's a gift from God, I'm ready to give something away to somebody else because it's the right thing. That type of behavior affirms a faith that everything we have is ultimately a gift from God.
One time, I think this was on stream, I really needed money. I mean, really. And I had forgotten how much I would give to the push spot. Sometimes I would give $20, $40 a week just before spot. And when you know I really needed that money, it was like I had given to myself in the future. It was really powerful. You're fired. Go fuck yourself.
Early access to this show. You're going to watch him as a shot. Start the timer.